Here we go.
Hey, I'm Jack Hughes from Wang, Chung.
Hey everybody, this is Ivan from Men Without Hats.
Hello everybody, this is Francis Dunnery from It Bites.
Hi everyone, this is Andy from Modern Romance.
Hi everyone, this is Charlene.
Hi, this is Dennis Seaton from Music EU.
Hi, I'm Nick Hayward.
Hi, this is Kevin from Fiction Factory.
And you're listening to the 80s Rewind Show podcast.
If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe so that you never miss an episode.
It's time to bring you yet another amazing episode. And now, welcome your host,
Rob, the face for Radio Burgess.
Enjoy the show.
Hello, it's the 80s Rewind Show with me, Rob, the face of Radio Burgess, and welcome along to today's episode. Well, I've got a really mixed bag for you today. I've got some great stuff coming up. Before I start today's show, though, I've got to say a massive thank you and one love to everybody that shared the show, told their friends about it, subscribed and written me a review. I've been reading your reviews and they've been amazing, so thank you so much. It's nice to know people are enjoying the show. Now, when I was reading those, I had an idea. I thought I always talk about stuff that I like, but why not throw it open? So I threw the question open to my friends. What is your favourite 80s song and why? And I've got a few emails in and I've also got a voicemail. And this is my friend Darren. Here's what he had to say.
Hey Robbie, just checking in with my favourite 80s sound. Bronski Beat's Smalltown Boy, a 1984 classic. It feels good, it sounds good, you want to get up and dance. If it was released today, it wouldn't feel out of place nearly 40 years later. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Darren. Thanks for that. Jan also wrote in and said she loves Walking on Sunshine by Katrina and the Waves because she said she loves how it makes her feel happy because it's such a bouncy song. Can't disagree with that. Absolutely fantastic. And Linda wrote in and said, I love Lionel Richie's Dancing on the Ceiling. The video is amazing and you cannot help but dance when that song comes on. Linda, I could not disagree more. Now, like Darren, Jan and Linda, if you want to get hold of me, you can get me at the 80s Rewind Show at gmail.com. That's the 80s Rewind Show at gmail.com. Or just check the show notes for this episode. The email address is right below. All you got to do is press it and it will take you to your message provider and just email me in and say what songs you like and what songs you don't like. Let's get controversial. Tell me what you don't like as well.
Hi everybody, this is Nick Van Eed here from Cutting Crew and you're listening to the 80s Rewind Show podcast.
So I titled this episode, Is This Album the Sound of the Future? Now before I get to that, I'm going to play you something absolutely amazing. So I'm always on like YouTube and Instagram and Facebook looking for 80s related material and I came across this fantastic video on YouTube of Clark Datchler from Johnny H. Jazz and he's done a reimagined version of Shattered Dreams and it's called Shattered Dreams of Ukraine. What Clark's asking people to do is to listen to the song, go onto his donation page and donate for the people of the Ukraine. I'm going to put a link to that on the show notes just below this episode. So if you want to donate, which I'm going to do in a minute after I've done this episode, click the link and you can donate directly to help the families of the Ukraine. I reached out to Clark and I said, can I play your track on the 80s Rewind Show podcast because I think it's really important. And Clark very kindly said yes to us playing the track on the show. I think when you listen to this song with war in mind, it completely changes the atmosphere of the entire song. It's fantastic. So this is Shattered Dreams of Ukraine by Clark Datchler of the 80s Rewind Show podcast. Please donate.
For your promises, they died the day you let me go. Caught up in a web of lies, but it was just too late to know. I thought it was you who said they died for me. Can't you see you've given me nothing but shattered dreams. Feel like I could run away from this empty Woke up to reality and found the future not so bright. Well, I dreamt the impossible, that maybe things could work out right. I thought it was you who said they'd die said they'd die for me. Can't you see you've given me nothing but shattered dreams, shattered dreams. Feel like I could run away from this empty heart. You know you've given me nothing but shattered dreams, shattered dreams. Feel like I could run away from this empty so much for your promises. You died the day that you let me go. I dreamed the impossible. Come on, let's dream the impossible.
Clark Datchler there of Johnny Hates Jazz with Shattered Dreams of Ukraine. One more time, please donate if you can. It's going to help somebody. Even if you don't know them, it will help.
The 80s Rewind Show podcast.
So I decided to call this episode, Is This Album the Sound of the Future? And I was on Instagram, and you get these little videos where people have little reels, and one of them looked like a little 1980s video. And I wasn't sure what it was, and there's a person playing the keyboard on it. So I thought, I'll give it a click, see what happens. Press play, and then got blown away. The artist was called Dream Kid, and he's just released his debut album. Now, I hear a lot of stuff which is 80s influenced and has an 80s feel to it, and it's got that sort of vibe to it. But this is the closest to an 80s album I think I've ever heard. And I think if you took this album and you messed up the cover and released it and put it in for argument's sake, put it in a charity shop and let someone find it and put some obscure name on it, they would spend days and days researching who this artist is. So who is this artist? It's a gentleman called Dream Kid, and he's just released his debut album under the same title. Yet again, I reached out to Dream Kid and I said, I love your stuff. Can I please play some on the show? And Dream Kid has agreed to let me play some tracks for you on this show. And I've also set up an interview with Dream Kid, and we're going to be talking very soon to talk about the music and the influences behind the actual album. Everything about this album is 80s. It sounds like a huge synth album. It's got guitar rock in it as well. The vocals sound very 80s processed, and the cover is fantastic 80s artwork. So I'm going to put a link underneath in the show notes of the album, so you can go straight to it on Spotify after you've donated, obviously, to Clark's charity. And then you can find the whole album in its entirety. And I would love to get your opinion on it and see what you think. So this is the first track on the album. This is Restart from Dream Kid.
That's the way computers talk to each other.
Wow, that is Restart from Dream Kid from the debut album of the same name, Dream Kid. What can you say? You just heard it there yourself. It just sounds like the 80s. And what's nice is on Instagram, Dream Kid always posts and put like 1984, it's prom, and you're late, and your boyfriend realises that he loves someone else and things like that. So he puts titles on that will convey the track and what the meaning might be behind it. And you sort of get the vibe when you hear those. I'll put a link to that as well in the show notes underneath so you can find his Instagram and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. The whole album is fantastic. It's got the same 80s vibe all the way through it. And there's some tracks with some amazing guitar work on it. There's a fantastic ballad called Hearts Don't Beat the Same When They're Hurting. And it literally could have been taken out of a John Hughes movie back in the 1980s. I'm going to speak to Dream Kid, so we'll play that track when we interview him in a couple of weeks. But I absolutely love what this person's doing, and I cannot wait for the second album. I'd love for him to do a glam rock album next. I think that would be brilliant. But the album's fantastic. It really hits the genre absolutely bang on, and he's really caught the essence of those songs that you would see in rom-coms at the time and action movies. It's got large drums, it's got the guitars, it's got the dreamy vocals. It's absolutely amazing. I don't know how you would sit down and work that out, how to sort of go, I want to make it sound like this and make it as influenced as it was. I mean, that's just a talent in itself. Here would be a really interesting idea. So Kevin Patterson from Fiction Factory on the 80s Rewind Show website, www.the80spod.com, sent me a track where the band reimagined one of their songs, which was on a cassette. You can hear it actually on there. If you go to the exclusive to site page and find that, you can hear it directly on the website. Link in the show notes, as ever. But imagine if Dream Kid and Kevin Patterson got together. So he did the music and then they did the vocals. It'd be great to do an album with him working with original 80s artists. Can you imagine that if he did the music for all of those? But the album is brilliant. It really does capture the vibe. I absolutely enjoyed every minute of listening to it. And it just takes you on a little 80s musical journey. And it's just, you need more of that, I think, nowadays, because it's all a bit too 80s sounding without actually understanding the genre. Whereas this album really, really understands the genre. It's literally got it spot on. And it's a great, great tribute to the 80s. It's not overproduced, which sometimes you can get those albums where they're just so overproduced it doesn't sound like the genre it should be in. But this one absolutely nails it. It's absolutely fantastic. Anyway, link in the show notes. You can check out the entire album. I'm going to stop talking and play you another song now. And this is from the debut album of Dream Kid. And the track is called Night Ride. Wow, isn't that amazing? It's just got that early Human League sound, that sort of driving electro ballad feel. Absolutely brilliant. I've absolutely loved today's episode because for me, it's all about the music. And today I've played you some new music and some old music reimagined, and that's what it's about. It's all about the music for me. I've really loved today's episode. Not that I don't love the others, I just really love this one because I got to play a bit of music as well. So all the links are in the show notes. Check that below. And don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to the show. If you're on Apple, if you could write me a little review, that would be amazing, and that will share the show far and wide. And we'll get to a big audience and get this music absolutely out there. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next episode. This is Rob the Face Radio Burgess signing out. I will see you soon. Ta-da.
The show is produced, edited, and presented by Robbie.
If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to subscribe and leave us a review.